Hey everybody, it's Dominic. Mayor's on assignment, saving the world one child at a time. I want to talk to you today about a couple topics. One is, are you injecting words into your world around you, making things worse and more difficult than they need to be? And also, are you injecting yourself into other people's stories and pains, making things about you? Let me give you some examples. If you have a meeting coming up, you may say to yourself, I have a big meeting, or I have a difficult conversation. And by just saying those added words, what you're actually doing is creating a definition around what those meetings need to be. And you're actually creating more stress, pain, fear, anxiousness inside of you than need to be. What if it was just a meeting? What if it was just a conversation? Or more importantly, if you're having a good conversation that's actually getting somewhere, it's a constructive conversation, it feels good. So why can't you say, I've got to have a constructive conversation with someone? Be mindful about what words you use, because they're going to add certain emotions to them and make things either easier on yourself or worse on yourself. Now, the other thing about this I want to talk about is about injecting yourself into other people's stories and pains. So for instance, if you're on the phone with someone and they've got some frustration and they're letting it out, this isn't about you. And the most important thing you can do is to realize that this is not about me. Because if you make it about you, then you become a part of their pain, and sometimes you can go directly on the defensive. And when you're on the defensive, then you want to hang up, you feel crappy, you want to lash back at them, and this is not constructive. Because if it's someone who you feel is attacking you, you've created that story that they're actually attacking you, and you want to be on the defensive. But what if you just listened to someone who was in pain? And if someone was in pain, you would have compassion for them, right? And if they weren't attacking you, then you could actually respond in a helpful way. So try that. Why can't they just be talking about themselves? And why can't you just listen to them going through what they're going through? And then at the end, you can respond as an observer, not as the object of their attack. Oh, look who showed up and wanted to say something. Ha ha ha. Go ahead.
So the reason Dom is talking about this is because this has actually really helped me in most of my meetings. I used to say, I have such a big meeting, I have such a difficult conversation to have, but it changed immediately after I deleted those words, and my meetings and conversations got much easier.
Because just by deleting the words difficult or I have a big meeting, and I said, well, does it have to be a big meeting? She says, no, I guess it doesn't. And then all of a sudden it gives her more power and takes away the power from the meeting and the conversation. So by taking all the things I've talked about today, it's really important to be mindful about what words you use, whether internally or out loud, and also imagine what part of the conversation you are, whether you are just an observer and someone who is helping, or whether you're going to put yourself on the defense of other people, calling yourself the attacked. So be mindful, try out different things, try asking yourself, is this about me? And if it's not, then you got something. And ask again, is this a big meeting? Is this a difficult conversation I need to have? And start looking at all the extra words you're adding to your life that are either adding stress or making things harder than they need to be. They don't have to be as hard as you're making them. So try to find other words to use, try to take yourself out of the situation, and just be there for people and listen to people and allow them to be themselves. Because the more you can allow, the more you can let them see how they're being, and maybe they'll want to change and come out of their painful habits. But you got to do it first. You got to model the behavior, and I know you guys can do it. So have a great day, and I'll talk to you again soon.